I'm here with my Hello stainless steel multi-cooking pot, and I am going to be making some homemade soup.
Counter cooking. No kitchen, no problem.
I've been kind of sick this past week with a very slight fever, a little bit of a sore throat, and a little bit of a sinus congestion. I still have some congestion in my head right now, but other than that, everything has passed. But I'm still in the mood for eating soup and drinking lots of liquid, so I thought I would make some homemade soup. This is what I am going to be putting in this hot pot to start off with. So I have half of a large onion that I've chopped. I have 1 pepper. This is a green Italian frying pepper. I grew it on my patio. I don't know exactly the variety of it, but it's basically like a bell pepper. And then I have 1 carrot that I've chopped up also. I'm not using a recipe. I'm just using stuff that I have in my fridge or that I want to use up. So this is going to be a vegetable soup, and maybe I'll add some beans to it. I don't know if I'm going to add rice or pasta. I mean, I'm just going to see how it evolves. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this on water, which is like the highest that it goes. And that's going to bring this water up to a boil. I put in a minimum amount of water right now, which I think is around 2 cups. And I'm going to add the onions, peppers, and carrots. And there are the onions, peppers, and carrots. I just added them to the pot. While that's heating up, let's look at what else I just found in my refrigerator. So I found some of these navy beans. I'll probably be adding some of these. And I found some leftover tomato paste. And I have a bunch of greens. These are actually dandelion greens. And I've used part of the bunch, but I need to use more of these. So I'll probably use, I don't know, maybe another half of these. The water has just come up to a boil, so I lowered this. So now it's not on water, it's actually a little bit below where it says noodle, which is supposed to like heat it up and then lower the heat, and then heat it up and lower the heat, kind of like keep it on a simmer. I don't know if that's what it's gonna do, or if it's just gonna keep boiling like this. It's a pretty rapid boil. I'm going to lower the heat and see if it does anything. Okay, so I lowered it a little more and it just clicked off. So now I'm just going to leave it where it is. Like, we're way below where it says noodle. And I'm going to see if it will turn itself back on when it gets cool enough, so that it'll bring it back up to a boil. Let's see what it does. And I know this is kind of hard to see, but here's where it says noodle, and I have it like around here right now. So it's not all the way down here, it's over here. It's about a minute later, and the pot just turned itself back on. So now it's heating up the water again. And let's see how far it heats it up. And it just turned itself off. So that was a pretty nice boil, and then it turned itself off. So it'll cool down a little bit, and then I'm sure it'll just like repeat that process. So I think that's really good. I just washed the greens. I'm gonna add those. I ended up using about half of that bunch that I had left. I think it's a good time to put some additional water in here now. I added about another 2 cups of water. We're right below the max line on this. And I'm going to add some of the beans that I have. I added, I don't know, maybe like a half cup of beans. Ended up using about half of what I have. I like soups that are not too thick. Like, I don't want to make this into a vegetable stew. I want it to be a soup, so there's plenty of liquid. So there's like a really good ratio of broth to ingredients. So I don't want to add too much stuff to it. I just found a zucchini and a potato, so I'll probably put in half of the zucchini and half of the potato. I don't want to put too much more in this pot because it is going to bring us above the max line, but I'll just keep an eye on it. And now I'm adding half of the potato. So we are a little bit beyond max capacity for this pot, but as it cooks, some of that water should evaporate. It should cook down a bit. So it's bringing everything back up to a boil. And let's see if it turns itself off. Notice how one side of the pot is boiling more than the other side, so you can see how the cooking surface on the bottom of the pot is uneven. Okay, now it just turned itself off, so it should stop boiling. So that is really nice. Okay, so that's good because then I don't have to keep such a watchful eye on this while I try to get some work done today. I'm making this for lunch, but I do have a lot of work that I need to do around the house today, and since I work from home, a lot of work that I need to get done. I just put the lid on the pot, so we'll see how it does with the lid on. Usually when you put a lid on a pot, when it comes up to a boil, it's actually going to come up to like a higher boil, if that makes any sense. And with the lid on, it should keep the liquid in there warmer between boiling cycles. I just don't want it like cooking over. It just turned itself back on. I want to see what it does with the lid on. So now it's at a full boil with the lid on, and the lid's really holding a lot of it inside. It's boiling much more rigorously than it did without the lid. But thankfully so far nothing is leaking out of it. But I definitely understand why they have a max fill line. And I'm actually going to take this off because I would like some of the liquid to evaporate. So that's why I'm just going to cook it with the lid off. But here you could see what's going on behind the unit, and none of the broth escaped out of the back. So that's really nice. I plan on letting this cook for about an hour, and I don't want to put the tomato paste in yet because of what happened with the hot and sour soup that I heated up in this yesterday. Some of it kind of stuck to the bottom of the inside of this pan, and I think if I put the tomato paste in, it'll start doing that. So in order to minimize on that, I'm going to save that until later. But for now, I want all of the other ingredients to cook and to soften up and for their flavors to really combine. So that's why I plan on simmering this for a while. It's been 20 minutes of this pot cooking on and off, and we're now back down to the max line. So maybe in another 20 minutes, I'll put the lid on. It's another 20 minutes later, and this pot has been cooking beautifully. Nothing has boiled over. It's been wonderful. And as you can see, we're about maybe a ½ inch below the max line now, maybe a little bit more than ½ inch below that line, so that's good. The soup is reducing. I'm gonna grab a fork and see where we are as far as the vegetables go. I'm gonna test a carrot because carrots are usually the longest to soften up. That carrot is nice and soft, and the broth is very flavorful, very flavorful. All right, where's the potato? Here's a potato. Wow, the potatoes are soft also. The potatoes are nice and soft, and they also add a little bit of sweetness to the broth. I've noticed that whenever you put potatoes in a broth, they make it a little bit sweeter. So now I think is a good time to add some of the tomato paste. I'm probably going to add 2 tablespoons to start with. I just want to make sure it's all stirred in good. I'm going to taste it. Now I'd like to add some more seasoning to it. I just added some dried Italian seasoning. And I added some granulated garlic. And I'm actually going to add a few drops of balsamic vinegar. That should just help round out the flavors. And then let's make this even healthier. Let's add some turmeric and black pepper. See how nicely that came up to a boil, and now it's reducing itself down in heat. So now I just want to continue to cook this probably for another 10 to 15 minutes to let all the flavors combine. I'm going to taste it one more time just to see what's going on. That's very good, but I feel like it needs just a hint of sweetness. I have this thyme honey from Greece. It's really, really good. I'm going to add just a little bit of this. Just a little bit. And that'll cut whatever acidity the tomato paste has. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. I'm adding some sea salt. This is the Celtic sea salt. Just a little bit. So this soup tastes really good as it is. And I'm sure it would be wonderful served over some rice or with some noodles. I don't like cooking rice and noodles in this kind of soup, again, because it makes it too thick and starchy. I'd much rather cook something like that separately and then just mix it in when it's being served. And the nice thing about not having a recipe is that you could just put whatever you want into a pot and just keep adding things until you think the flavor's good. And right now I think the flavor on this is pretty good, so I think I'm gonna be done. But I am noticing one thing. So now that I've added all the other ingredients, this is the first time that I've seen like liquid spitting out of this pot. I just saw like 2 drops of it spit out of the pot. Other than that, it's been very, very well contained. Nothing has been like spitting out of it. And this would be really good served with some croutons, like some toasted bread croutons. I think that's what I might do. I have some sourdough whole wheat bread in my refrigerator. I might toast up a piece of it and then cut it into squares and use it as croutons for the soup. So now that the soup level is lower than it was before, I just put the cover back on and it's cooking fine with the cover now that there's more room in there. So when you're cooking with the cover on, there is not going to be nearly as much evaporation as there is when you cook without a cover. And if I had not kind of overfilled this to begin with, I could have cooked it with a cover the whole time. The reason I didn't is because I wanted to cook off some of the liquid. So I would think it would be preferable to not put so much liquid in there and then just to use the cover the whole time. It's been a full hour now, so I'm going to turn off this pot and I'm going to unplug it. And I'm going to remove this cover, and it feels a little bit loose. Like the screw in the middle is a little bit loose. I don't know if you could see it, but it's moving around a little bit. I can't remember if that's why my cover broke last time or what. And so this is the beautiful vegetable soup that I just made. This is the clean out the refrigerator soup. I think it looks really good. It's almost kind of like a minestrone, except there's no pasta in it. Here is the beautiful soup, and this is a slice of whole wheat sourdough that I put in the toaster. If I was making real croutons, I would have cooked it on a lower temperature for a longer period of time, but this is good enough. That looks excellent. And now let's taste this. Super flavorful. I can't believe how much flavor is in this. All of the ingredients are beautifully cooked. I'm tasting a lot of herbs. It almost tastes like I put some kind of fresh herbs in here, but I didn't. But it is really good. Maybe it's the dandelion greens that I'm tasting, and maybe that's why I wanted to put some of the thyme honey in there. Maybe it's the thyme honey that I'm tasting that does taste like thyme. That could be it also. Dandelion greens can tend to be on the bitter side, so adding a little sweetness is a nice contrast to whatever little bitterness they might have. I'm really happy with the soup. I'm really happy with how easy it was to make in this Hello Hot Pot. And there is still plenty of soup left over in this pot. So we made over a liter of soup, which is nice because I could have some now for lunch, and if I want, I could have some for dinner. And I think this definitely makes enough for 2 people. So it's a really nice size pot, and it's definitely a lot more food than a Dash mini rice cooker. I just finished 2 bowls of soup, and that soup was really good. So these bowls that I'm using, they hold about a cup of soup. So I had 2 cups of soup, which is about a pint of soup, And I still have what looks like another pint of soup here in the pot. So it made a quart of soup, which is great because if I was going to buy a quart of soup from a local store, that's easily going to cost me $8 to $10 for a quart of soup. It's not going to be as healthy because it's going to have ingredients there that I don't want in my soup. And I'm not going to be able to customize it exactly how I want, and it's going to be way too high in sodium. So this pot is going to start paying for itself very, very soon. So let's say those ingredients that I just used, I don't know, let's just say they cost $2 for all those ingredients. Maybe not even, because I didn't like use entire things. And let's say I would have spent $8 for a quart of soup. So this saved me $6. And this pot cost me $17.99. So if I make 3 quarts of soup in here and each quart saves me $6, then this pot just paid for itself. So I think it's a great deal. This is a 1 quart container. This is what I got my hot and sour soup in the other day. And I just poured the leftover soup in here. And as you can see, it's more than half full. So I still have more than a pint of soup left over. So this pot makes a little bit more than a quart of soup, considering I already consumed about a pint of this soup by having 2 bowls of it. It's really hot, so I'm going to let it cool down before I put it away. And so that's how you can make a really easy vegetable soup in this Hello multi-cooking pot. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see what else we can make in this pot. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.